But Marx says the problem with capital, it leaves the bottom half poor. So you could be what he called middle class in capitalism in America, but capitalism will ultimately push you down into poverty. And so in 74, I come back from Vietnam, ERISA comes out. ERISA is the 401k. The boomers, my generation, because we're so dependent on this thing, 401k, which is defined contribution pension. In other words, the defined contribution means if you put in $1 million, hopefully get $1 million back. But the old pension plan was called a defined benefit. So if you worked for Ford Motor Company and they promised you $1,000 a month, Ford guaranteed the $1,000. But a defined contribution, Wall Street, as long as Wall Street stayed up, it was a good deal. My classmates who flew for United Airlines and all that, they lost their pension. PBGC, Pension Benefit Guarantee Corporations, they took them. You're talking about the euro dollar crisis and how they're pumping up the stock market right now. My prediction is my generation, or affluent today, will be in poverty. America was really formed in 1773. It was called the Boston Tea Party. And now all they want to do is, I couldn't believe Biden saying, we're going to raise another 10 trillion, but it won't cost us anything. How stupid do you have to be where you get this guy Biden stands up there and he says, we're going to spend another 10 trillion. I'll tell you how much a trillion is. If you spent $1 a minute, it would take you 32,000 years to spend $1 trillion.
Yeah.
It takes them a minute to print $1 trillion.
Back in the 1950s, people didn't invest stocks. And prior to 71, it was really smart to save money. After 71, 74 was ERISA. 74 was a major change. Again, 71, they came to 87, stock market people understood that, I think, gambling, the Glass-Steagall, they repeat Glass-Steagall, I think around 1995, and investment banks. And there was some, and regular putting saved. Then we had the 2000 with crash, then came crash. And they blamed the poor people for the crash, but it wasn't the poor people who did it. It was Wall Street, the Fed, and then they never fixed the problem. And all they did was, so everyone came on in mass after 2000, and they were coming up with quantity. And what the quantitative easing was this huge balloon going in the sky, that if that found a little gondola,
if inflation is in asset prices, like the stock market, real estate, we make fortunes. But the working guy out there working for $50 an hour or whatever they work for today, because he just took a haircut, then he can't afford to live. And then you have the southern border right on our border right here, wide open. People are coming in droves. They have smash and grabs. This is all stage 2 communism. It is so screwed up, I can't believe. What he recognized was the flaws, again, in 1848, the flaws in capitalism. So stage 1 would be socialism, which we had in 1933, FDR puts us on Social Security, we got welfare, Obamacare, and we have so many Americans without that government stimmy check. We're finished. Then he said stage 2 would kick in. So in 2020, I'm not a Republican or Democrat, I'm not endorsing Trump, who's a friend of mine, or Biden. I'm saying communists took over in 2020. The thing that's frightening about this book, many of his predictions, he said, are coming true today. It's unbelievable. This book came out, Communist Manifesto came out in 1848. But in 1965, I left Hawaii and I went to school in New York, military school. First word is mission. What is the mission? Everything is mission driven. And then my instructor to study economics, he had us read the Communist Manifesto, Mein Kampf, Mao's little book, and other things. So we understood who the enemy, the fractional reserve system and bank reserve currency, which is macro. That's where the heist took place. There was capitalism. Stage 1 was socialism. They couldn't accept communism at first. So what Marx says, we have to put in socialism as stage 1. So that was Social Security. Everybody's now on Medicare, welfare, and all that. We're now a welfare need. So stage 1, which is socialism, completed. And my English instructor, this is in 1966, 65, he says sometime in the future, communism is going to stay. And communism is opposite of social. And so here I'm hanging in the sky in Vietnam going, holy mackerel, there it is. Because what happens is when communists take over from socialists, they murder the social. If you look at history, every time communists took over, the first people they kill are the intellectuals. And that's about to start. If you, like I said, might be a break, is that Hitler, 1970, postmodernist education, opinion, and critical race, Black Lives Matter, cancel culture. It's not education. Never was anyway. In education 30, Columbia University in Columbia. And so the teach ed is where the full setup is said, and education fits into that category.
Before we continue, help us clicking that YouTube like button and subscribe now to our channel. This shows the algorithm that you valued this information. And it helps us spread that message. Sharing is caring. And now, let's continue.
I have bad news for you. If you're not rich by now, you're screwed. And if you're in debt, you're even double screwed. How so, you might wonder? Well, the sad truth is that you're working your whole life to make someone else rich. The mega corporations, the banks, the politicians, everyone is getting richer. They get your money. And what is even worse, they get your time, they get your life. You are not even in a rat race, you're in a financial prison. But what could a solution for you look like? Honestly, I don't know, but I know what a solution for me would look like. It's very simple. I use whatever money I have and I multiply it with 1,000. This could make my life much easier and probably yours as well. If you have $1,000 available and multiply this with 1,000, I believe that this could solve some financial issue for the one or the other. Of course, if you're ugly, you would have to multiply it with much more than 1,000. My name is Markus Dan, and this is what I decided to do. I decided to 1000x my money. This is not a joke. I know what you may be thinking. What is this guy talking about? How should this work? This is not possible. Well, I made a detailed video where I laid out my plan. And some clever folks might even want to look at this plan and copy it and do exactly what I do. This is just a little hint on the side. You have two options. You leave, you forget what you have seen. You do whatever you're doing and you hope that somehow you get some other results. Good luck with that. Or you click the link below the video. You enter your email address because I'm not showing this to everybody. You at least watch my video on how I plan to 1000x my money. The choice is yours. Make the right choice. Join me. See what a different future you could have. See at least how I intend, how I plan to do the 1000x. So click on the link below, enter your email address, and I see you on the other side. Your Markus Dan.